do.
All right, you guys, happy Wednesday. So we took a one-day break yesterday.
Now, while Blake will label that as yet another threat of retaliation by Brian Friedman, I'd say he's just doing his job really well.
She's walking the plank. I mean, it's terrible. This is not good. She needs to stop.
First and foremost, I should tell you that I have a major scoop regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, their newest legal plan. All right, guys, well, I am very pleased to announce that it's finally over. It's finally dead and over because of Blake Lively.
Hollywood's image is taking a hit, and Candace Owens is making sure the world takes notice. In a scathing takedown, Owens accuses Blake Lively of pushing a new agenda she describes as a desperate Machiavellian power play disguised as activism. Owens points to explosive allegations, leaked HR complaints, and a spiraling legal battle with Justin Baldoni, claiming that Lively's grip on public perception is quickly slipping. Owens doesn't hold back, calling out the cracks in Lively's carefully crafted persona as Hollywood faces growing scrutiny. As Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, come under fire, Owens suggests that the couple may soon face the harsh reality of accountability. Known for her bold and often controversial views, Owens claims that Lively's recent actions appear to be part of a calculated strategy rather than genuine activism. With the actress now embroiled in legal drama and public criticism, Owens asserts that Lively's public image is unraveling, leading to what she describes as a complete meltdown.
Anyways, I am better now. I'm happy now. I'm more than better because we did it. Like I said, I am not involved in this lawsuit, or at least that's what my lawyer kept telling me. Oh no, you're not a part of this lawsuit. Well, joke's on him, because I have now been name checked in this lawsuit. So let's back it up and I'll explain how we got here. I'm just giddy with so much joy right now. So Judge Lehman, don't forget, the parties all met, kind of a preliminary hearing. It's just the lawyers met, and Judge Lehman of New York instructed both of the parties of the suit to submit a proposed protective order. I think the deadline he gave them was March 10th for a proposed protective order, because both teams agreed that some kind of a protective order would indeed be appropriate for this case to protect confidential information. Now, as we reported, Brian Friedman and Wayfarer wanted essentially a model protection order, which is indeed standard. It's just a standard protection order. But on the 20th, which was I think last Friday, Blake's team filed for a slightly modified type of protection order that would include increased protections to third parties. Now, we covered this filing. I told you that essentially what was buried in it was what I would describe as the Taylor Swift clause. I'm just calling it the Taylor Swift clause, essentially allowing the respective lawyers to just deem anything that they want, attorney's eyes only.
For years, Blake Lively carefully crafted an image of a wholesome, charming actress, avoiding controversy while focusing on fashion, lifestyle, and her seemingly idyllic marriage to Ryan Reynolds. However, recent developments in her legal dispute with Justin Baldoni, along with her growing involvement in social and political causes, have led Candace Owens to believe Lively is engaging in strategic activism. Owens argues this shift is part of a calculated effort to maintain her influence within Hollywood.
This was the discovery, I think one of the best ones we've had yet, where Blake Lively completely exposes herself and just says it out loud with no qualms. This is what I do. The whole thing Justin's put out in his documents, she just admitted. And you even said it before we play this clip, Kim. You know, there's no way his lawyers had this, because wouldn't this be in the documents? This is exactly what they're accusing her of.
Yeah, this would be in the complaint. I truly believe that in my heart, because it's absolutely crazy as you listen to this. She really does just kind of line out what her method is, and there's just a lack of self-awareness here that is just, it's insane. It's actually insane to watch, and I'm very surprised that she felt comfortable enough to say all of this out loud.
I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. When I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull, because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do.
Owens argues that Blake Lively's sudden shift to outspoken political and social stances is driven not by genuine conviction, but by a desire to secure power within Hollywood's elite circles. According to Owens, Lively has selectively chosen causes that align with her interests, while avoiding issues that could threaten her standing in the industry. This selective activism, as Owens calls it, raises doubts about the sincerity of Lively's public statements and philanthropy.
So I just wanted to give you that general background, is that she's kind of known to not get along with people. Now, the reason for that, if you're a feminist, you go, oh, maybe she's just standing up for herself, because that's what she has told people in interviews. She's opened up about the fact that she struggles for equality, all of the struggles that she faces on behalf of trying to stand up as a woman. Here's a direct quote. She said, as a woman, you're afraid of a label that you may acquire by demanding fair treatment for yourself that you know that you've earned. And when she means that she's struggling for fair treatment, in another interview, she once opened up that, you know, she's raising her daughter with the right ideas. She has a young daughter, and her and Ryan Reynolds, also an actor, decided in their household to refer to bugs as she and her instead of he and him. I'm being 100% legitimate there. They had decided to refer to bugs as he and her because, I mean, she and her, because you obviously could see how a little girl could then think, I don't know, like, are all bugs guys? And that's not the right idea. So they've decided to engender all of the bugs as she and her. And I'm just wondering, like, is that good for feminism? I don't know, because in my house, we kind of squish bugs. So maybe she's just thinking she's just got to stomp on a woman to get ahead because her family has told her to refer to bugs as she and her. And so that's what I mean when I just say just a general background of modern feminism just being unbearable. Like that, if I was at someone's house and they were like, please refer to the bugs as she and her, I just would be like, I don't really think I want to do that or be here.
Blake Lively's legal battle with Justin Baldoni has intensified, with allegations of misconduct on the set of Asterisk It Ends With Our Star. Lively accuses Baldoni and producer Jamie Heath of inappropriate behavior, while Baldoni vehemently denies the claims and has filed a counter-lawsuit. The case has divided public opinion, with some questioning the timing and authenticity of leaked HR complaints against Baldoni, further fueling the controversy.
And it is looking like, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Justin Baldoni may have a very strong case against the New York Times. You're not going to believe this, okay? This pertains to data. You guys would describe this as metadata. I would describe it as metadata. I am hearing from my director, who's like super techie, that technically this is URL data. Doesn't matter. Let's just talk about what it is. Think of data in general as digital footprints, okay? So like you can't like run from the scene of an online crime, because people can just trace your metadata and see where this started, okay? So in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, he accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of colluding with the New York Times. And I think explicitly it says for months, that they were plotting with the New York Times for months to smear him. And there may be some important evidence regarding that accusation, because you have to remember that Blake Lively filed her civil rights complaint. This was the huge explosion. She filed a civil rights complaint in Los Angeles on December 20th. And then within 24 hours, the New York Times had the scoop. They published the complaint in its entirety, and it definitely looked suspicious.
Owens has seized on these inconsistencies, claiming Lively's team strategically leaked the HR complaints to sway public opinion. She argues that Lively's carefully controlled media presence is faltering under pressure, leading to erratic decisions and missteps that suggest a desperate attempt to control the narrative.
They show up on red carpets like the Amphar Gala in their expensive wear to be seen, to be photographed, and they give away $1 million. And then guess what, guys? That's it. That's their indulgence. That's it. You got to just accept that they're good people. They gave $500,000 to charity this year. So that doesn't matter how they're treating other people. Okay, then guys, well, Ari Emanuel is the most powerful guy in Hollywood, and he has spoken out. So I guess case closed. As long as Ryan and Blake are being nice to billionaires, right? Why are we upset? Do you hear that? Oh, they're probably also nice to Oprah, I'd imagine, and Mark Zuckerberg. And hey, obviously they've been friends with Taylor Swift for 10 years. So clearly, if you have enough money, which Ari Emanuel does, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will be nice to you. So what exactly is the problem here? All you little mom sleuths, everybody following this case and reading through the messages and seeing how horrific they are, reading the messages they sent, okay? Not imagining how they treated them, being able to read the messages, being able to see how they were speaking to people behind the scenes, calling herself, oh, I could just have very powerful people ruin your life. I've got dragons. So yeah, I guess we're supposed to just accept what Ari Emanuel says because they think we're stupid. Okay, people in Hollywood think people like you and I are stupid.
Candace Owens has long criticized Hollywood for hypocrisy and media manipulation. In her takedown of Lively, Owens highlights how celebrities use their influence to control public perception while avoiding accountability. She claims Lively's legal tactics, such as seeking extensive digital records from Baldoni and limiting access to certain evidence, are attempts to shape the public's understanding of the case, rather than uncover the truth.
The moving parties respectfully suggest that the Wayfarer parties can actualize those professed goals, that is, to facilitate the pursuit of truth and to empower third parties, including the victims of sexual harassment, to stand up to incredibly powerful individuals. I find this to be hilarious because they are doing the exact opposite. They are actually protecting incredibly powerful individuals. Like I said, I see right through this. This is the Taylor Swift protection order. I'm not calling it anything different. It is a Taylor Swift protection order. She's a very powerful person. It is her who will have her brand hurt. It is her is the only relationship that they want to actually protect. Like I said, everyone else was just on the chessboard. They will ruin Isabella Ferrer for sport. They will ruin the career of Brandon Sklenar. They don't care about that. They don't care about Liz Plank. I mean, really, do we need an expert on what a bromance is? These people were just like useful idiots to them. But Taylor Swift, for a narcissist, for two narcissists, they're like, that's what we want. We love power. We love feedback. We want to save this relationship. So we're going to file this, pretend it has something to do with something else, so that we can then go to her and say, we got you, babe. I got you, babe. It's totally fine.
Owen highlights past incidents that she argues reveal Lively's true character. In a 2009 interview, Lively admitted to influencing how the Gossip Girl cast treated her ex-boyfriend, Penn Badgley, which some now see as evidence of manipulative behavior. Additionally, resurfaced comments from Lively about inserting herself into the creative process of films support Bolden's claims that she attempted to exert excessive control over *It Ends With Us.
So don't listen to Blake even in her own words, because like we covered last week, she has openly admitted that she does exactly what Justin Baldoni's team accuses her of, pretending that she's just going to be an actress, and then she intentionally takes over movies. Also, if she doesn't get what she wants, or if somebody is cast that she doesn't like, she's openly admitted that she poisons the whole cast against people. That's what she admitted back in 2009, at least, in a Glamour magazine article, which she was on the cover. I remember this, guys. I'm telling you, I was working at Glamour magazine when I told you that she was the cover shoot, and that my boss that I was working for said she was awful and she was the rudest person that she ever worked for. This was the cover of the magazine. Take it to the bank. I worked at Glamour when this magazine was happening, okay? So she was initially upset. This is a quote from her. She was initially upset that Penn Badgley, who became her future boyfriend, got hired for the role. She said in the magazine, quote, "At first I was so upset that they hired him, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him. But then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually really nice, charming person. Almost immediately I realized that too, but it took me about a week to admit it." So Blakey no likey. Then Blakey's gonna go after you and poison the whole cast against you, and now she's got the money and the resources.
Adding another layer to the controversy, Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband, unintentionally fueled speculation with a seemingly offhand joke during Saturday Night Live *'*''''''''''''''''''''*s 50th anniversary special. When asked how things were going, Reynolds sarcastically replied, "Great, why, what have you heard?" The remark, met with awkward laughter, was widely seen as a reference to Lively's legal troubles. Owen argues that Reynolds' response suggests even he is aware of the negative public perception surrounding his wife.
Ryan Reynolds has had quite the run in Hollywood, but it looks like his time is over. And it's all because he decided to get involved in his wife's drama, which I get it, he's trying to be a good husband, but Blake Lively is clearly in the wrong, and Ryan Reynolds' actions aren't helping. He's now requesting a gag order against Justin Baldoni's legal team. He's being represented by Brian Friedman. We've spoken about him on the channel before. And essentially, he wants Justin's lawyer, Brian, to stop speaking about the case, which is crazy because, I mean, Blake served Justin with a lawsuit. I feel like everyone has the right to go and speak about their case, especially if they're being served. He has the right to go and defend himself. It's interesting that she can release text messages that are edited, and then he decides to go and release the same text messages that are unedited and to release more, and she's trying to stop him. Like, why doesn't Blake want us to see the full truth?
This gag order request is giving we have no case. It's giving stop putting out this evidence because it is ruining the fake allegations that I made up to destroy your career, smear your name. It's giving, please stop swaying public opinion. Please stop making people hate me even more than they already do.
Now, in my opinion, I think something fishy happened on set between Blake and Justin. There were some feelings. Maybe Justin didn't have those feelings, but Blake did. And Ryan realized this, and he's not happy.
The backlash against Lively has grown beyond the Bologna case, with online critics revisiting past comments and interviews that tarnish her image. As Owens challenges Lively's credibility, she warns that Hollywood elites can no longer rely on carefully crafted PR campaigns to avoid scrutiny.
But I really do want to talk about this because, yeah, Blake Lively's attorney is now warning content creators that are parroting Justin Baldoni's lines. It all comes in this document that we did talk about. I think this came out yesterday during the live, which if you missed yesterday's live with Zach, we had a wonderful time with Zach Peter. Hope to get him back. But I want to go through some of this because there's so much nonsense in this doc. And as Deadline here does sort of break down very well, it's just so much back and forth where ultimately they're just trying to agree on protective orders, which there should be some sort of protective order. No one's denying that, but no one wants to give. And honestly, Blake's asking for too much, in my opinion. She wants all celebrity correspondence to be private. It's called AEO, which is attorney's eyes only. All sort of privating mentions from celebrities, etc., should be only for the attorneys. It's like, girl, no. You published his text messages. Can we just hold on, Blake? You published his text messages in a complaint that wasn't even a lawsuit and then gave it to the New York Times before you filed it officially. You're despicable and a massive hypocrite. And so now you're complaining about privacy? Oh, this is such an important private matter. You were on Saturday Night Live letting your husband make a mockery of your whole thing. Oh, is there something that's going on? Yeah, there's something going on.
With the trial against Bologna set for 2026, Lively's reputation hangs in the balance. If Owens' claims prove true, Lively's legal battle may be less about justice and more about preserving her influence. Owens argues that the actress's recent actions reflect a desperate attempt to control her narrative amid growing skepticism.
Now that, Justin Baldoni shared the truth of what it looks like, they're no longer making the same claims. Previously, they said Miss Lively was filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Of course, Justin proved there was sound. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character as himself. Now, the argument with this is, it didn't matter what he said since the audio wasn't going to be used, so they could speak however they wanted to convey that message. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear down to her neck and said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue. Now, as we found out, "It smells so good" was in reference to, she had mentioned, her spray tan or her makeup or whatever, and he was just, hey, I'm in character, doing his thing, and that's that, right? And then in the amended complaint, it changes things a little bit. They acknowledged the sound and said music was intended to play over the action. Nonetheless, microphones were live to pick up room tone, but not conversations or dialogue to be used in the film. The scene in the script specifically described dancing without dialogue and did not include any intimate conduct or kissing. And so the story's changing a little bit, and that's okay, but as the lawyers explain here on Kirsty Flah's YouTube channel, this could lead to a credibility issue with the jury.
As more details emerge, it remains uncertain whether Lively can weather the storm or if Owens' predictions will prove true. What's clear, however, is that Hollywood's grip on public perception is weakening amid heightened scrutiny, and Lively may be the latest casualty of this changing dynamic.
Really? Starting first with the content of the book, it is emotional. It is, and it's an emotional job to be on set, to be somebody who is the victim of a physically abusive and emotionally abusive relationship. That right there, could be a reason for her to say, look, I took a lot of stuff out of context. This was a very emotionally draining acting job for me, and I took a lot more home, I think, than I maybe you realized. So I think, one, there's that. Two, her father had just died.
Right.
What girl with a good relationship with her father is not going to be severely jolted by that? Three, she had just given birth.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, and I really think that there's a lot there that also could be the reasons why she did go as hard as she did on him. them. Like, there might be a lot more going on that she doesn't even realize emotionally because of what she's dealing with.
Right.
So I think that really, like, if I'm advising her, it's going to be just air it all out. Just say everything you've been going through, just put it all out there, issue a public apology or a half apology where it's like, look, I think that maybe I did take a lot of this too far because of some stuff going on in my life.
Yeah.
Right. So, and look, like, look, I think that she looks, if we have to keep going down this road for a year, like, it's like she's walking the plank. I mean, it's just, it's terrible. This is not good. She needs to stop.
As the legal battle continues, Blake Lively's public image faces intense scrutiny, with Candace Owens uncovering cracks in a carefully crafted persona. Only time will tell if Lively can recover or if Hollywood's manipulative tactics have finally caught up with her.
So, look, Team Justin has not given up, and they are being incredibly aggressive because Brian Friedman is doing his job. This is what he does. It's a winning strategy, and he pretty much can't lose at this point, it seems, because Blake's been unable to provide anything realistic. She thinks she has it all, but sources are saying that no, she does not. There's so much more that Baldoni and Friedman have on Lively. They just gave a taste on the website. They're showing a little ankle, but not the whole leg, if you know what I mean. I'm sure she wouldn't approve of that reference. Too sexist. The reason? Friedman is going to annihilate Lively on the stand during depositions. She thinks she knows what they have, everything that's on the website, so she can prepare for that, but she can't prepare for what she doesn't know they have. And again, they have a lot. According to the sources, they have troves more of stuff that has not been seen publicly, emails, text calls, videos. If you think Blake looked shocked during SNL, wait till you see her face during deposition. Justin kept everything.
We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. That wraps up today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.